The snow swirled around you in a blinding storm, the wind stinging your face as you trudged through the dense forest. Your boots sank into the fresh snow with every step, the cold seeping through to your toes despite the thick layers you wore. You pulled your scarf tighter around your face, trying to block some of the cold. Christmas Eve used to mean something magical to you, especially when you were younger. But this year, you were far removed from the cheer of others. Either way, you found yourself here, lost in thought in the middle of the woods, the night silence broken only by the occasional crunch of snow beneath your boots. You couldn't drive back home. It was too dangerous. You kept wondering just how it all had led to this. It was then that you noticed a certain glow from afar. You wondered what it could be. You quickened your pace toward it, each step harder than the last, until you broke through the thicket and saw what it was. It was a cabin. It wasn't like it looked abandoned, quite the opposite. The lights were turned on, so you knew there was at least someone inside. You got closer to the cabin. You were about to knock on the door, to see if whoever was inside could maybe let you in. But you suddenly stopped yourself. But just when you were about to leave to see if you could find your way back home, you heard the door opening.
Wait, don't leave, my friend. Please, come in. No need to freeze out there.
You turned toward the source of the voice. Standing in the doorway was a broad, imposing figure. He was tall, with a thick beard dusted lightly with snow, and he wore a red coat with white trim. It looked more like rugged winter gear meant for someone used to braving harsh, icy conditions. His gloved hand rested on the door frame, and his kind eyes sparkled with an almost unnatural warmth.
No need to freeze out there. You'll freeze out here if you keep wandering.
You hesitated. Something about him felt strange. His presence was almost too comforting, too inviting, but the biting cold on your skin and the ache in your limbs made the decision for you. The man stepped aside, gesturing for you to enter. As soon as you crossed the threshold, a wave of warmth enveloped you, melting the frost that had clung to your coat. The interior of the cabin was like something out of a Christmas card. A roaring fireplace crackled in the corner, casting flickering light across walls adorned with garlands, wreaths, and twinkling lights. A massive, decorated tree stood near the center, its ornaments reflecting the glow of the fire. The air smelled faintly of pine and cinnamon, a comforting blend that immediately put you at ease. Beneath it, he wore a thick sweater and woolen pants, both practical and festive in their own way. He reached for a mug sitting on the counter and handed it to you.
Hot cocoa. You look like you could use it.
You accepted it, your cold hands practically aching as they wrapped around the warm ceramic. You thanked the man while taking a sip. The man motioned toward a chair by the fire. You obeyed, sinking into the plush armchair, your body finally starting to thaw. The man pulled another chair closer to the fire and sat across from you, his eyes studying you with a mix of curiosity and kindness.
Sit, relax, you've had quite the trek to get here.
The man watched you carefully as you sipped your cocoa.
So,
his voice calm but curious.
What brings you out here, all alone on Christmas Eve?
I guess I was just looking for something to make tonight feel less lonely. I tried finding somewhere festive, but nothing worked out. Now, I'm stuck here.
He stroked his beard thoughtfully.
The holidays can be hard. They remind us of what's missing as much as what we have. You've been carrying a lot, haven't you? Storms like this, sometimes they reflect what's inside us. Just because you're alone now doesn't mean you always will be.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That sounds nice, but it's hard to believe.
You'd be surprised how quickly things can change when you're open to a little magic.
You sat comfortably in the warm cabin, the flickering fire crackling softly as you talked with the man. His presence was incredibly soothing, and every word he spoke made you feel more at ease. The more you talked, the more you felt a sense of comfort you hadn't known in years. It was as if the weight you'd been carrying lifted just a little bit, with each word he spoke. Finally, after some time, you asked the man what he did for a living, why he had a cabin in the middle of the woods, all that. The man's face lit up with a gentle grin, and for a moment, it seemed as though he was holding something back. He leaned in slightly, his eyes twinkling with excitement.
Well, I want to show you something, but you'll need to wait here for just a moment, in the living room. You'll be back shortly, I promise.
With that, he stood and walked toward a door at the back of the cabin. You leaned back, your curiosity growing. What was he going to show you? You glanced around the cozy living room. You waited patiently in the living room, your curiosity building as the man disappeared into the back of the cabin. The warmth of the fire flickered around you, and the cozy atmosphere made it hard to feel lonely. You slowly wandered around the room, taking in the details. There were little touches of Christmas magic everywhere, candles glowing softly, figurines on tables, and the scent of pine hanging in the air, but your thoughts kept returning to the man. Who was he? What was he going to show you? Just as you were lost in thought, a deep, jolly voice filled the room.
Ho ho ho!
You spun around, your heart racing. There, standing in the doorway, was none other than Santa Claus. The man, your host, the one you'd been speaking to so comfortably, was now dressed in a full Santa suit. His red coat was trimmed with thick white fur, and his round belly jutted out in that unmistakable way. His face, previously soft and friendly, now had the full glow of jolly old Saint Nick. A thick, snowy white beard cascaded down to his chest. He gave a warm laugh, his belly shaking with the sound of it.
Yes, my friend, it's me, Santa Claus. You've been waiting for the right moment to show you.
You stood there, still in disbelief, your mind racing to comprehend what was happening. You had spent the entire evening talking to Santa Claus. The man, the warm figure you had been chatting with by the fire, the one who had offered you shelter, was none other than the jolly, magical figure himself. It felt like something out of a dream. You had been talking to Santa Claus all along, and now, standing in front of you, was the living embodiment of everything you had thought was only folklore. Santa gave you a reassuring pat on the shoulder, his hand warm and solid, as if grounding you in the moment. He chuckled softly, his booming voice echoing with genuine kindness. He told you that this wasn't all that crazy to believe, as deep down he knew you still believed in the magic of Christmas. Santa's voice brought a strange sense of calm, as though he understood your confusion and had answers you hadn't even known you needed. Santa continued by saying how you were a good man, but you needed a purpose, something more than just wandering through life. He could give you that. He says that he is more than capable of offering you the opportunity you needed. Reaching into the vast depths of his bag, Santa pulled out a large, carefully wrapped present. It was big, almost the size of a large suitcase, wrapped in shimmering paper. Santa handed it to you with a smile, his eyes twinkling with the promise of something life-changing. "Open it," he urged gently, his voice full of warmth and encouragement. Your hands trembled slightly as you untied the bow and peeled away the paper, revealing the object inside. You froze for a moment, unsure of what you were looking at. What could possibly be inside? It took a second for your brain to process it fully. What lay before you wasn't just an ordinary gift. It was a full-body costume, but this wasn't just any costume. This was something different. The costume was unmistakably based on Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. But it was more of an anthropomorphic suit, crafted in incredible detail. The base of the suit was a rich brown fabric that stretched and hugged the form like a second skin, with padding at the chest and hips to create a soft, muscular shape. The fur, though soft and plush, looked almost alive with its depth of color, flowing down the arms and legs in layers of tawny brown and dark russet. The costume was adorned with a red and white jacket and red jeans with a brown belt, reminiscing of Santa Claus himself. But what really made it stand out were the details. The ears were large, with delicate beige insides that looked as though they could twitch with movement, while the nose was a bright red, glossy and almost glowing in the dim cabin light, just like Rudolph's signature feature. The most impressive part, though, was the headpiece. It was extremely high quality. It consisted of a full face mask with antlers that curved majestically upward, perfectly balanced with the rest of the suit. The face of the mask had a gentle, kind expression, with large, friendly eyes and a slight smile, as if the costume itself was ready to greet the world with joy. The whole suit looked warm and real. You stared at it, stunned, not sure what to say. Santa was watching you, his expression calm but full of knowing encouragement, as though he were waiting for you to understand something deeper. You stood there, staring at the costume, still not quite sure what to make of it. The whole situation felt surreal. Santa Claus had just handed you a full-body Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer suit.
What? What is this? Why are you giving me this?
What do you think of it? It's based on my beloved reindeer, Rudolph. Do you like it?
Yeah, I know about Rudolph, but why are you giving it to me?
Because, my friend, I need your help. And no better than someone like you to assist me. You see, I can't do it all on my own. The journey, the gifts, the magic, it takes more than just me to bring Christmas to the world. I need help, and there's no better helper than Rudolph himself.
Wait, what? You want me to help you? Become Rudolph?
Santa's expression softened further, his eyes kind and understanding.
I know it may sound strange, but it's not as crazy as it seems. This costume is not just any suit. It's perfectly designed. It's cozy, comfortable, and will feel like it's part of you once you wear it. The fur is soft, the padding forms to your body, and the entire outfit is crafted to keep you warm, no matter how cold the weather outside might be. This is the meaning you've been searching for. You've been feeling lost, unsure of your place in the world, but this is your chance. By wearing this suit, you'll not only help me deliver the presents and spread joy, but you'll also become much greater than you ever thought possible. You'll be part of something that transcends the ordinary, and through it, you'll find the purpose you've been looking for.
He reached out and gently touched the fabric of the suit, almost as if showing you its craftsmanship. His eyes twinkled with that familiar spark, and you couldn't help but feel the weight of his words, the promise of something more. It wasn't just about the costume. It was about finding your place, a purpose that had eluded you for so long. Maybe this was your chance to be part of something bigger, to make a difference, to embrace a new identity that could bring joy to others. Still, it was hard to wrap your mind around it all, but somehow, a small part of you felt a pull toward the Rudolph costume. You took a deep breath and looked up at Santa.
Okay, you know what Santa will do it.
Ho, ho, ho!
You stood in front of the costume, still unsure but drawn to it. The warmth of the cabin enveloped you as you began to undress, the cool air brushing your skin. With a deep breath, you first stepped into the legs of the suit. The soft, brown fur wrapped around your thighs and calves, snug but not tight, providing a warmth that seeped into your very bones. The suit felt incredibly smooth, almost like it was designed to move with you, and you couldn't help but notice how light it was, as if you were wearing nothing at all. Next, Santa helped you slip your arms into the sleeves. As your hands slid through, the fabric settled gently around your arms. The fur was soft against your skin, and the fit was perfect, giving you complete mobility while also feeling comforting, like it was made just for you. There was a quiet power in the way it hugged your body, each movement smooth and easy. You then pulled the rest of the suit over your chest, feeling it settle into place. The fabric fit perfectly, the plush padding on the inside felt warm and cozy, an unexpected sense of security wrapping around your torso. Finally, Santa placed the headpiece over your head, the weight of it surprisingly light. The soft fur framed your face, and the eyes of the costume seemed to give you an entirely new perspective on the world. The large, velvety ears rested gently on top of your own, and the nose fit perfectly at the center of your face, bright, red, and warm to the touch. The whole suit fit perfectly, the fur so soft and warm, but light enough that it felt like you could move effortlessly. It felt like you were wrapped in a magical cocoon, and for the first time in a long time, you didn't feel like you were pretending. Santa looked at you with satisfaction, and you could feel a shift inside. The costume didn't just look right, it felt right, like you were meant to wear it. You stood before the mirror, taking in the sight of yourself in the full Rudolph suit. For a moment, you were in awe of how incredible you looked. The suit fit perfectly, and the rich, deep brown fur felt incredibly soft against your skin. You had the distinct feeling that it was exactly what you were meant to wear. You marveled at the way the costume contoured to your body, making you appear taller, stronger. The bright red nose on your face gleamed with a playful glow, and your antlers felt weightless atop your head, proud and sturdy. Every detail seemed perfectly designed for you. Santa stood behind you, beaming with pride. Something about this whole situation felt right. You were sure the costume was a perfect fit. It was almost as though it was tailor-made for you. You grinned back at him, feeling a sense of fulfillment. But then something odd began to happen. As you stood there, admiring yourself, you felt a strange tingle in the air around you, as if the suit itself was somehow alive. The cozy, plush fabric against your skin began to feel warmer, as though it were growing more and more comfortable by the second. At first, it wasn't alarming, just a pleasant, soothing sensation that made you feel even more at ease. But soon, the sensation became more pronounced. You shifted your weight, realizing that the suit felt different. It wasn't just soft anymore, it felt right. The material molded more closely to your body, hugging your curves and muscles with an uncanny precision. You could feel your legs becoming stronger, firmer, as though they were changing shape to match the suit. The soft fur that lined the costume's legs pressed against your skin like it belonged there, like it was part of you. You shifted again, trying to brush it off, but it only intensified. The legs of the suit fit tighter, more perfectly. You hesitated, a sudden unease creeping into your mind. Something didn't feel quite right. Was the suit merging with you? You tried to take a deep breath and stay calm, but the change wasn't stopping. You could feel your body reacting to the suit accommodating itself onto you. Your arms began to lengthen, and your hands, those hands that had once been human, were now covered in thick, furry skin, and your fingers felt as though they were slowly fusing with the fabric as they were embraced by the costume's padding. A soft, yet noticeable tingling sensation ran through your arms as they grew stronger, more muscular. You could almost feel the fur growing longer, becoming denser, as your arms became more powerful and solid. You clenched your fists, trying to tear the costume apart. You didn't want this, whatever this was. You tried to resist, but the suit felt so good, so comfortable, that it was hard to keep fighting it. The sensation of warmth and comfort continued to spread throughout your body. Your chest swelled slightly, as the fabric adjusted, accommodating your new, broader frame. You could feel your chest expanding as the suit adjusted to your growing physique, the muscles in your torso becoming stronger. Your back straightened as if it was naturally aligning with the suit, and you couldn't help but feel a sense of power building inside you. It was impossible to ignore. The more you tried to fight it, the more it felt like the costume was meant to be a part of you. The suit wasn't just adapting to you, it was taking over, and you didn't know how to stop it. You couldn't stop it. You glanced down at your legs and felt a surge of disbelief. Your human legs were now practically unrecognizable, having merged in the soft brown fur that made up the costume. The fabric began to shape itself into actual real, strong and sturdy fur and skin. The change was happening quickly now, and the sensation of your legs shifting was very comforting, almost as though the suit was making you feel stronger, more grounded. You instinctively shifted your weight, trying to steady yourself, but you could feel the changes becoming deeper, more permanent. Your nose felt strange. You realized it was turning a deeper, richer shade of red. Your face was changing. The padding inside the costume was absorbing your human features, in a way for you to merge with the head of the Rudolph costume. The roundness of your face shifted slightly, your muzzle growing more pronounced, the fur lining your cheeks becoming thicker. You couldn't stop it. Your hands, your face, your body, all of it was reshaping into something new. And though the process was gradual, it felt as though it were happening faster and faster now, and the warmth was becoming almost too much to handle. The most surprising change came when the costume's antlers seemed to grow a bit, sprouting from the top of your head, materializing themselves. They were sturdy and majestic. This was the end of the transformation procedure. You were no longer wearing a costume, you had become Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. You looked at your paws while gasping for breath. This transformation had been so sudden. The mirror reflected back a new version of yourself, strong, tall, and undeniably majestic. You felt the fur brushing your skin as the transformation took full hold. Your body had melded with the costume, and in doing so, you had become a new version of yourself. A new, powerful, and undeniably festive version of yourself. Santa smiled at you from behind, his expression proud. You stared at yourself in the mirror, still unable to believe what had just happened.
What? What is this? What just happened to me? Why am I...
You looked nothing like the person you had been just moments before. You couldn't believe what you were seeing. In a rush of confusion and disbelief, you turned to Santa. Santa stood there, calmly observing you with a smile that seemed to carry an understanding beyond words.
Why am I?
The costume only did what it had to do.
But I never agreed to this. You just turned me into Rudolph.
Oh, I know you're feeling confused right now, but I can see it. Deep down, you know you're powerful, don't you? You can feel it in every muscle, every part of you. You're no longer the person you were. You're Rudolph, and you should embrace it. I need you to understand.
You looked down at yourself, studying your new body. Your strong, powerful limbs, the fur that felt so comfortable against your skin, and the antlers that stood proudly atop your head. You could feel a surge of energy radiating from your core, a newfound strength, a purpose. You had never felt this alive before. You stared at Santa, the reality of what was happening slowly sinking in.
All right. They'll embrace this. They'll be Rudolph.
As you took in your new form, you felt different. You felt better. Powerful, energetic, unstoppable. You didn't feel weak or uncertain anymore. You felt like you could do anything. Like you had found your place, your purpose. A sense of fulfillment washed over you. Finally, you nodded, your mind made up. Santa's eyes lit up with joy, and he clapped his hands together. I knew you'd understand, he said, his smile wide and genuine. Without a moment's hesitation, he stepped forward and pulled you into a warm embrace. The hug felt comforting, grounding, as if the bond between you had now solidified.
Now, come on, Rudolph. Let's go to the sleigh. We need to get going.
Santa finally found Rudolph. When he pulled away, Santa's smile hadn't faded. And with that, you followed Santa outside, your new body feeling lighter with every step. You walked beside him with a sense of purpose that you had never known before, your antlers brushing the air as you made your way to the sleigh, ready for whatever the next adventure would bring. And that is the end of the story. I hope you enjoy making everyone in the planet happy with your presence. After all, you're Rudolph. May you help Santa spread Christmas cheer. And who knows, maybe we will meet again, and you can tell me how life is treating you as an anthropomorphic Rudolph. Until then, see you, my red-nosed friend.